Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. And I just got back from doing some shopping with my wife, and I picked up a couple of goodies at the thrift store. Look at this one here. Now, I know this is made for hanging bananas and putting bananas down in there, but oh God! Nah, that's not what I'm going to use it for. But remember, I had another banana hanger that I had used before that was going to go up on here. And there's a possibility, a slight possibility, that George might do something like this. I'm not saying I will, just a slight possibility. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't use it on this project, we'll use it on something else. You know, there's always other things to be using them for. And I saw these handles on these skewers, and these are springs. And I can use springs of different kinds in different places on my various builds. And one other thing I got here was this here. I think this is a shaker. You guys might know better than me, but I see this, and it's polished stainless steel, and it has this cap on here, and I have a couple of places on the Goofy cart that are going to need some caps on them. Yep. And on another project, this could become part of an exhaust system. Baffles, yep, and a megaphone. Oh yeah. And well, it could do a similar thing with the rest of this, actually. You know, all kinds of things you can do. Now let me take you down off the stand. Well, I can show you one more thing while I have you up on the stand. I started to tell you about this yesterday when I made the video on the transmission for the Goofy cart. And as you saw, the sound went out. And this is the second time that it's happened to me when I've tried to use the wireless mic. And I've got to determine if it was the microphone or if it was the sender receiver. Not sure. So I'm going to have to switch microphones. I have two different microphones. One's a unidirectional, the other one's an omnidirectional. So I'm going to switch and see if the one that I wasn't using yesterday will last for full video. And I'll have to keep checking every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm showing you here, this is an outboard motor that was given to me by my friend that I do repairs and testing and stuff for, local thrift store. And he picked this up, and he asked me about hauling some stuff for a local sale this coming weekend. And so he said he'd give me this in payment. Got good compression, and I have no idea. He said the guy he got it from was moving and just getting rid of stuff. So it's a good possibility that it could run. It's a Mercury 9.8 horsepower twin cylinder. So yeah, it could be a cool motor, even if I can just get it to fire off and then sell it on Craigslist to give us some more fun tickets to use on the Goofy cart. You know what I'm saying? So, we're back here with the transmission that I installed last night, and I wanted to clarify a couple of things. Yep, you saw the sound went out, and I speeded up the video because it wasn't very interesting without commentary. One of the things I wanted to say that I did say in the process of putting this all back together is if somebody else is doing this and going to be changing it over to gear oil, or like I'm going to do STP, one of the things I did, and if you paid attention real carefully, you saw that I put silicone all around the seam, all the way around, both underneath this part of the bushing. These have bushings here, and you can see some of the silicone oozing out there a little bit, and that is to seal these. These never had any kind of a gasket or any kind of a seal on them before, because this had just had grease in it originally, and so changing to STP, even though it's pretty thick, it could still ooze out, and that's what we're trying to avoid with that. So, and there is a flange on the inside of these bushings here, so essentially the gear oil would have to get past that inside flange before it could come out here. So hopefully this will seal up most of it. You saw me talking about putting grease on the input shaft, which is down underneath here. Let me see, I can do this better if I slide the mirror over. But that's not going to help you see, because, yep. Alright, well, anyway, let me look up here, see if I can see it this way. Yeah, here we go. Where's my input shaft? There's my input shaft there. And the reason I put so much grease on that input shaft was also to help keep the oil inside there, the STP inside, from coming out. But yeah, my next thing to do is to set up my two pulleys down underneath here. Yeah, now you can see. Let me move these off this side. I'm going to have one pulley there, and oh, that's actually the down shaft on the transfer box, and here is the down shaft on the transmission right there. It's hard to do upside down, right there. So that put a pulley on each one of those, and then I have to put an idler pulley somewhere in the middle. And originally there was a hole right here. Was it that one or this one? One of these two here, there was a hole there that I had the idler pulley mounted in, and I ostensibly forgot which hole it was, and I welded it up. So I may have to drill a new hole, which is no big deal. So once I get that done, then I can go back to doing stuff on top, like mounting our steering box, and our shifter here will come through here. Steering box goes here. And you saw the last thing in my video last night, I pulled this cover back, and you saw this is the plate where the motor mounts. So that'll be getting done real soon. Here's my other pulley, goes down underneath. So yeah, that was that. I wanted to make that little bit of an explanation just so you kind of got an understanding of what was happening. And I got to keep this all covered up, keep the dirt off of it, you know. And I think maybe tomorrow, too late today, maybe tomorrow I'm going to try to find a way to stand that up, and maybe even put it in my rubbish barrel there and mount it in there, just so I have something to hold it while I yank on the cord. I could fill that half full of water, I guess, couldn't I? We had a beautiful day today. The last 3 days we have had rain, and more rain. And I want you to know I never got any water in the garage. My swale over here was just about full of water. We had 3.5 by my rain gauge, and maybe more than that, but 3.5 inches minimum. And I know in Rochester, Minnesota, not too far from here, some people up there had 6 inches. And lots of flooding going on. So thanks again. Till next time, stay in the shade. Bye now.